Welcome back, Tigers! This video will review how to install and configure the free AppExchange app from Blue Ninjas called Quiz Ninja. This application will allow you to create multiple choice quizzes for your Salesforce users. A user can take a quiz more than once, review their answers before submitting, and see the results immediately. It's easy to set up and you'll be up and running in minutes. Let's hop over to Salesforce and configure a quiz for our users to take. All right, our first step is to hop over to the AppExchange and install this Quiz Ninja package. We'll provide the link to this package in the description below. You'll click Get It Now, and then you'll install in either your production or sandbox environment. We recommend that you test this in a sandbox first. On this screen, you can choose Install for Admins Only. We're going to provide instructions on how you can assign a permission set that comes with the package to your users. Now you should see the Quiz Ninja app in your installed packages list. We're going to go back to our Home tab and we're going to click the 9 dots, and we should now see the Quiz Ninja app installed in our Salesforce. You'll go ahead and go to that app, and we're going to explain some of the things that you'll see here. This first tab is called My Quiz App. This is an app page that we have put rich text, the related list, dashboard, and a flow component. You can move this flow to wherever you want. We'll show you how that works. Then we have some custom objects that were installed with this package. Now, the data structure for this package came from a multiplayer quiz app that was shown at Dreamforce in 2019. So thank you to the developer blog for posting that data architecture. We did utilize all of those custom objects in this application. Your quiz module object is used to store the name of the quiz or test that you're going to be facilitating. We're going to click New here, and we're going to create a new quiz module. So think of this just like the name of the quiz that you're going to give, and that's it. We're going to make this active, and then we're going to allow the user to attempt the quiz multiple times. So these two fields will control which quizzes show in the flow. If it's active, they won't show for the user to choose from. And then if you don't check the multiple attempts checkbox, then the user will only be allowed to attempt the quiz once. Now we have another custom object called Quiz Questions. And these are just a list of questions that you will add in, and you will add in the answers. So we're going to put in a quiz question here manually, and then we're going to show you how you can upload the quiz questions using Data Loader. I'm going to put this text in here, and then I'm going to put in the answers. So these are the 4 multiple choice answers that will show to the user to choose from in the flow. And then here's where you tell Salesforce which one's the correct answer, because this application will automatically select which answer is correct and grade the quiz for you. Now, how you link the question to the module is you'll go back to the quiz module, you'll click on the name of it, you'll click New, and then you will search for the quiz question and add it and apply a sort order. And then you'll click Save. So this object right here is called the quiz module question object, and that's the junction object that allows you to add questions to a quiz module. So you're able to add quiz questions to multiple different quiz modules. One question does not have to only be in one quiz module. Now let's see how we can use Data Loader to make this process a little bit faster. Our first step is to prepare an Excel file where we'll have our question in one column. Our answers, A, B, C, D, and E, will be in separate columns, and then your final column will be the correct answer. We'll then pull up Data Loader, and we're going to insert these records into the quiz question object. You'll click Browse, and then you'll select your file. We'll click Next. There's going to be 4 records that we'll insert. We'll do an auto map here, and it looks like everything mapped perfectly. Click OK. You'll click Next and Finish. And then don't close this out yet because we want this success file. So you're going to click View Success File, and we're going to open that in an external program, and that will open it up in Excel for you. Our next step is to verify that those records were created in our quiz question object. We'll go over here and we'll click All, and we can see these additional 4 questions were indeed loaded successfully. Now let's go back to our success file, and we're going to do a couple of things here to prepare it. So this ID we're going to put here, we're going to rename this to be called Question ID. And then we're going to put our quiz module ID here. Now the quiz module ID is the name of the quiz right here. So we're going to pull this ID, and we're going to put that into our file. And you'll drag that all the way down. So now this is going to load the records into our quiz module question object. I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to do another insert. And this is going to be an insert on the quiz module question object. You'll click Browse. And then we're going to auto map this. And I can see that I forgot my sort order on my file. So let's go ahead and add our sort order. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is just how the flow is going to sort your questions. So I'm going to do 2 through 5, and I'll save that. And then I'm going to map my module to my module ID and my quiz question to my quiz question ID. Okay, it says all those records have been loaded. Now let's refresh right here on our quiz module record, and we can see all 5 of our questions are now showing underneath this quiz. All right, now we're going to go to My Quiz app, and we're going to see that the flow right here, this is where the quiz is supposed to show to allow the user to take it, is telling me that I need a contact record set up. How the flow works is it looks for a contact with an email address that matches the current logged in user. So it's telling me, hey, we don't see a contact record anywhere in Salesforce that has your email address. You need to go get one created. So we're going to create one of those here real fast. Okay, we've created a new contact, so let's go ahead and refresh this screen. And now we can see that it is finding one quiz for me to take. I'm going to select this quiz and click Begin Quiz. You click Begin Quiz again, it's just to make sure that they are sure. Then we're going to answer our quiz questions. Then on this page, we have the opportunity to either review and update our answers or submit our answers right away without reviewing. If the user chooses to review and update answers, the flow will remember what they selected previously and let them update their answers to something else as they go through it again. On the final step, it will submit their answers. They can click Finish, and then that's going to refresh the related list up here, and then we can refresh our dashboard. Oh, good, I got 100. I'm a ninja. So we can see that this record right here is the quiz taker record. If I click View Answers, that's going to open up into a record page that allows me to see all of the questions and how I answered them and whether or not I got them correct. So this is going to grade the quiz instantaneously for the user, show them results, and show them what they got wrong. Now, I am able to take the quiz more than once, so we'll show you what that looks like here. It's going to say, hey, you've already taken this. Are you sure you want to retake it? So I can click yes. And then I'll get a couple wrong here. And then I'm just going to submit my answers this second time. I'll finish, everything will refresh for me. And your dashboard, you're going to have to refresh that manually to get that to update. And you can see now I have 2 quiz taker records that are showing me my scores, and I can click into that and I can see which ones I got correct and which ones I got wrong. Our next step is to provision this application for our users. So there's a couple of things that you're going to need to do to make it work for your other users. Now we have this Quiz Ninja dashboards folder that has 2 different dashboards. One is the My Quiz Performance dashboard that you're seeing on the record page here. And then the other one is a quiz performance dashboard that is going to show you the performance for all of your users. And it also shows how your users did in answering specific questions. So we can see here, we can get some granular information. How often are users getting a specific question right or wrong? And then what's the overall performance of our users? And then there's also some stack ranking to show who's getting quizzes right and who's not getting them not as right sometimes, and what the average score is across the team. Now on the My Quiz Performance dashboard, you need to do a little setting update here. We didn't make this automatic just in case you were going to be over your limit for dynamic dashboards, but we're going to go to the gear here and we're going to make this a dynamic dashboard and say this dashboard needs to be viewed as the logged in user. So whoever's logged in, they'll be able to see it. And you can also choose if you want to let the dashboard viewer change who they want to view the dashboard as. So this is really helpful for managers. If they want to see the results for a particular person, they can change the person whose name is there and look at their results. Then you don't have to create a dashboard for each person. So you'll want to change this to make it a dynamic dashboard. And then you'll also need to share this folder with the users that need to view it. So you'll come here and you'll click share, and hopefully you have a public group or you can use your roles to share with. I'm going to use users right here. I'll click share. And then you also need to share the report folder. So we're going to go to all folders in our reports tab. You'll go to the Quiz Ninja reports folder and you'll share this with the appropriate users. Hopefully you can do a role in a public group here. I'm going to share it with my sales manager user. Click done there. And then the next step is we need to assign the permission set that comes with this package to our user. And we also need to make a small modification to the permission set. We're going to go to permission sets and we'll go to Quiz Ninja user. And you'll just want to go to run flows. And then you'll want to check this box to run flows. Maybe your users already have this permission and you don't need to do this. We'll click save there. And then we're going to assign this to our user. Now I'm going to go and log in as my sales manager. And then you'll go to the 9 dots and you'll type in My Quiz app. So they don't have access to the Quiz Ninja app, they just have access to this app page right here. You should see this dashboard is saying viewing as sales manager. That means you successfully made this dashboard a dynamic dashboard, and then they should see one quiz here. We'll select that. Say, yes, I want to begin this quiz, and then they will answer the questions. We're going to submit our answers. We don't need to review them. And we'll click finish, and then we should refresh and we should see our score automatically. Okay, that's working all perfect. And then the sales manager could take that quiz again if they wanted to. Now let's go over to the quiz performance dashboard now that we have more than one person who has taken a quiz. And we'll refresh it just to make sure we have all the results. And now you can see down here that there's more than one person who has taken the quiz. We've got Shadow Tiger and Tony. You can see the average score across all quizzes. You can see the quiz performance by quiz. Then the next thing I want to show you is what it looks like when you have more than one quiz that a user can select from. We're going to click New here. We'll create a new quiz. And we'll just add one question to it. And now we should have two quizzes that are visible in our quiz app, which we do. Now, if you wanted to make one of those inactive, we're going to go back to our quiz module tab. And we're going to make Are You a Ninja inactive. And then we should only see Ninja Anime. And we do. We only see one quiz that the user can choose from here. All right, the last thing I wanted to show you was how this works under the covers. We're going to go to the gear icon. We'll edit page. And this flow component is modular. You can drag and drop the flow component onto any Lightning record page or app page that you create. And then you'll just select the appropriate flow, which is called quiz, take quiz, and allow user to review before submitting. And this is what will allow the user to select the quiz and actually take it. So you can put it on your home page, you can put it on another record page, wherever you want. You can also break all these other components apart and change how this page looks. If you don't like the way it's laid out, you can put in any custom text that you want to as well here. All right, that's it. That's all we wanted to show you for the Quiz Ninja app. Stay tuned for our next video that shows you how to use this app in your digital experiences. That's it. That's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss out on the next video we are working on that will show you how to configure this app for your partner and customer users in a digital experience. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or enhancement requests for this app. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.